How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation. It's time to get creative. Time to get that imagination all cycled up. And cycled up, that's a fun one. And it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Charest. Wonder if it's Charest or Charest. Let me know in the comments below. He's probably best known for his run on the Wildstar comic series. He's got a really great and unique style, kind of a mix of like Mobius or Jean Girard and Drew Struzan, but it's a really unique and lovely style that I'm really drawn to, and I think he's got some great stuff. So I'll just show you a couple of images right over here if you guys want to check them out. Like I said, there's definitely some Mobius vibe that you can see in some of his work for sure, and Struzan stuff too, so it kind of varies a little bit between the two. But I think it's a unique blending of the two that's really something nice. It's like I said, it's great line work, great form, great mastering of anatomy, really interesting posing choices, and what I really like too is when you can get someone who's got a mastery of anatomy and also machinery. I think that's two very difficult opposite things, because with anatomy and stuff, usually you have to add a very fleshiness to it, and with machinery you've got those hards and those solids, and to be able to grasp both of those takes a little while. I know for myself, I do study figure drawing and gesture drawing and everything all the time, and then when I go into doing some more like vehicles or machinery or houses or any of that stuff, it's like a different mindset you gotta switch on to approach those, and I love it. Looking at people who have grasped both so very well and easily, it feels like. So if you haven't checked out his stuff, definitely check the description down below and give him some thumbs up, or follow him, or at least enjoy and appreciate the wonderful work that he's done. But I wanted to share a quote with you guys from him as well, and that was, "All creative people want to do is do the best job they can and to try to reach people in some way." And I think that's totally true. Each and every day or every project that people work on as creatives, I'm sure you guys find this in your life as well, that you, no matter what skill level you're at, you want to do the best you can do, and you want to get some feedback or some reaction or some or understand more about yourself, or somehow have a voice in it as well. A little bit more of a simplistic kind of a quote for today, but I think it's important to remember, that every person who's out there creating, especially if you're in any sort of creative groups or circles or anything, you can definitely find yourself getting this mentality of, well, I don't want to, it's almost a negative mentality where you're just either putting yourself up against people that you aspire to be and being very hypercritical of yourself, or looking at people who aren't even where you're at yet and being very hypercritical or looking down almost on them. And I think it's good to have that clean and crisp mentality for yourself, that everyone is out there trying to do their best. There aren't that many people that are just doing creative things and not trying to do their best. I don't know anybody who's like that. So it's good to appreciate where you are in your walk, and to help people who are maybe not as far along as you in their creative journeys, and also to continue to look forward and work hard to be like those people that you really look up to. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into some animation for today. This is the Street Man rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing here, for the rest of the video, we give ourselves about 48 frames or about 2 seconds of animation. I go off and find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with. And we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate. A little bit of talking through the process, and kind of instruction along the way sometimes too. Sometimes it's more philosophy, or thinking about why these choices versus those choices. But overall, the main goal of these videos is to hopefully encourage you guys to continue every day and feel like you're not alone every day as well in your creative journeys, and hopefully to inspire you guys to go off and make something unique and creative of your own, no matter what medium you're using. If it's if you're a singer, if you're a sculptor, if you're a painter, whatever it is. I just hopefully really want to help encourage you guys and inspire you guys, hopefully, to whether it's you see something and you're like, oh, I can do way better than that, or you learn something, or we talk about a subject that sparks some level of creativity in you as well. But I'm rambling, so let's go ahead and get in here now. If you've been following along for the past week or so, been trying this Jump-vember. So we do a jump animation every day for the month of November. It's just something a little bit different to mix it up. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. One second. Okay, sorry about that. Let's create another cube here. But yeah, I've been doing this Jump-vember, just something that to mix it up. We usually do kind of walks, or sometimes we do acting shots or anything, but I don't do a ton of jumps. So I figured it would be fun for the month of November to really focus on doing that and different ways we can approach them and different ways we can do it. We've done a couple of fun ones, so check back on any of the videos that should be uploaded for November if you want to watch more different jumping style animations. So let's go ahead and start. I think for this one we'll do jumping from screen right to screen left and going down a little bit. So it's good that we're trying to, I did one that yesterday, it was like a backflip up to in the air. There's other ones where I've done from one side to the other, just straight up and straight down. Just trying to think of any different ways that we can approach body mechanics and try different ways to get a jump across, or the idea of a jump across. But first thing we need to do is create a good storytelling pose to start off with here. So let's develop that first. And I was kind of debating whether I want to do FK or IK for the arms. I think I'm going to stick with FK so you can get some drag in there, because I think we've been doing mostly kind of IK arms with the jumps lately. So this one has the FK, so I think we'll use that there. Pull these shoulders back a little bit. So I'll bring the arms up a little bit more here. For some reason, I'm thinking of, if you ever saw The Office, there's one where they do parkour at the beginning, which for some reason that's coming to mind right now. It's a great show. If you've never watched that show, it's one of my favorites for sure. Great for, I'm a big fan of improv and improv comedy, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I do these videos with you guys every day, is because there's really not a whole lot of improv in 3D animation. A lot of it has to be kind of usually planned out and thought out, and there isn't really that feeling of improvisational animation. So it's kind of one of the things I wanted to work on and try and learn and see if that is something that can be achieved in 3D animation. And I think we can do it. Now, definitely it's not real quick. It's still, about an hour to get something out, but kind of let the ideas flow and take us places. And sometimes they work out well, and sometimes they don't. But I think that's kind of the fun part too. Alright. I think that's fairly good enough to start off with. Let's curl the fingers a little bit. Interesting hand pose here to start off with. And probably do a 3/4 view camera angle. Yeah. Just so we can get a good silhouette. Because if we do 3/4, then that works really well as a silhouette. Then we'll just plop them right down to there. And we'll have a little bit of anticipation, a little bit of recoil here. And if you see the way that I approached the other hand was I did them all kind of as a group and then did a little bit of variation in there. And this one I'm kind of going finger by finger to and under section by other section. And again, it's just a different approach to getting similar, getting a similar effect here. Where we get in and really make sure that we create as much interest as we can with those. Okay, so I feel like that's a fairly good place to start. So let's go ahead and save our file. And we are using Autodesk Maya 2014. Wonderful folks over at Autodesk. If you want more information on the program, check out the description below. Along with, I always link to some of the most important resources that have helped me start to learn animation, and those books are down below as well if you guys want to check those out if you're looking for further reading. And don't ever hesitate to shoot me a message or leave a comment down below too if there's a subject that you either disagreed with me on, and we can always talk about your opinions or my opinions or any of those. Any sort of discussion is always good. Or if there's questions that you have, if there's something that I kind of just alluded to but didn't go into detail or any of that stuff, just let me know. Or if you have different ideas that you'd like to see us play around with for other shots or different tutorials you'd like to see. I know a few people have sent me messages saying I should do some more acting shots and dialogue shots, and it's definitely something that I haven't forgotten. I think for the month of November we'll stick to jumping. I've just felt like I wanted to push myself on my timing and my weight a little bit more, and also look into some arcs a little bit more deeply than I had been kind of in just a kind of a weakness I've been noticing that I have wanted to address, and that was a point that we talked about, I'm sure, probably a month ago or so, and that was that don't shy away from your weaknesses in your art form, but rather embrace them and make them strengths, you know. Let's see. Do a little bit more forward. Just kind of wanted to scrunch down. And I'm just flicking between the keys, seeing how I like that. And if you want to do that, that's just the comma and the period on your keyboard, and that'll flick between two keys. And again, this is kind of a little bit pose-to-posey right now, with a mix of straightforward, because I'm not really going in and really tightening everything down super a lot, but just a little bit getting in there. I usually kind of do a rough pose-to-pose kind of pass, and then go in and straight ahead it once I have a rough version of that working. Let's really get the neck down so it looks like he's looking down below to where he's going to land. Okay, that all feels good, so I'll make sure that we just have nerve curves, nerve surfaces, and polygons selected again. We'll go ahead and key that. And then let's go to 18 here. Raise that over and up. Let's grab the feet here. And thank goodness we have knee controllers, unlike yesterday's video. If you watched that one, we were using that I think it's Alexia rig. Could not find any knee controllers on that, and that really, I felt like, inhibited animation a little bit. It's probably a little too far. Drag that don't ever get intimidated by animation. I think that's something I haven't really talked about too much. But just get in there and play around and have a very playful attitude. I feel like in order to really start understanding animation, it's really just to get in there and play. And the more time you get behind the keyboard and into Maya, or get in the drawing table, or whatever form you're doing, and that goes with any sort of creative endeavor, is to not let it intimidate you, and to continue to build a habit of creative process, develop your own creative process and how you feel about that stuff too. Probably really able to far. I think we'll go ahead and drag the head here. And again, we'll get in and tweak this stuff a little bit, but I just want to kind of do a basic layout here. I think we'll still drag a little bit more. Kind of let the legs lead the movement a little bit more. Down. Gotta clean up this foot, it's a little too low. Bring it forward. Knees forward. Switch the hands to I key because I really like to slap them down on the ground there, but maybe not. We'll see. Make sure I'm sticking with the right key here. I'm just sticking with 25. Tweak all this stuff as we go along. We're just trying to really get the real basics in here for right now. translate Z is obviously too far. Let's just scale it back a little bit more. And let's get the rotate X here. Let's push that a little bit further. Really get that recoil in there. I think we'll stretch it out a little bit more here. That might be too much. I'm going to take the arms and let them go about 2 frames sooner than what we have. Okay. Start to come together. Still got a lot of work to do. So let's grab everything we got about 2. Hold that to about 6. Hold 11 and do 13 for a few more so we really get that nice hold. don't like how the hips work on this rig so much, so let's see if we can't get a little bit of a straighter feel throughout there. so toes, let's drag the toe there. Drag it up there. Drag it up there. Flat that out. Okay, let's look at that. It just helps to loosen it up a little bit more. And definitely want to drag the toe there. We go up here. And zero out there. Okay. That fits a little better. And let's look at this wrist here. I'll start doing some movement there. Swing back there. Start swinging back there. Drag it up there. Drag it back there. Bring it forward there. Okay. And sorry if you're hearing that. We got some street construction going on today. Okay, let's go and look at that wrist now, see what we like. It needs to be up a frame sooner, I think. arms here. Okay, let's save that. Let's go and look at the other arm here. do feel like the hips and chest kind of lock off a little bit here though, so let's just do a little bit of movement there. So we get that still have a little bit of recoil there. this arm's bugging me. Like, where is it? 20. It's fine at 11. I'm just gonna simplify some more. Just keep breaking it down until I get it. Like, where is it? 0. Okay. That goes too fast, so we want to hold like 14 till about 17. Maybe even feel like it's just hiding too far back there, so let's delay that frame. Set that. Delete this one. I'll just delay everything one more frame. That's better, I think. Let's grab this one. Where it is right here. Let's have it actually forward a little bit more. Maybe a little less back. I'll just leave it like that. I feel like that works right. And then let's look at both of the fingers, and let's take let's do it one at a time. Let's go index curl and push it forward a frame, and pinky curl and pull it back a frame, just so I can get a little bit of variation in those fingers. And let's take the index curl and push it forward a frame, and the pinky curl and drag it back a frame. Let's go look at that again. And let's take all of the 2s and 3s and we'll delay those a frame just so we get some more variety in here. And let's take all the 3s and delay those a frame as well. And let's try and do a little bit of thumb here. just a little bit of movement in here so it doesn't totally lock off on that thumb and give some more variety in the hand posing. I think that works pretty well. Alright, we're definitely go in and polish this thing out for another hour or two, but I think that works for now. So let's turn our curves off. Let's go ahead and save our file here. And let's watch that. Do you kind of feel like the neck probably locks off a little bit here? So let's look at that a little bit more. No? Okay. Let's turn our curves off. Let's go and watch that again. Yeah, that works pretty well. So let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at Charest. Don't know if it's French or not. Probably. All creative people want to do is to do the best job they can and to try to reach people in some way. And I think that's important for all of us to realize that everyone's on their journey, everyone's at a different step throughout it. So don't worry about where you are, just do the best you can do every day and try to reach people or touch people in some way, and hopefully in a positive way as well. So that being said, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. You guys are amazing. I totally believe in you. Keep pursuing your dream, keep fulfilling as much as you can of your passion each and every day, and don't give up. If you're watching this, you guys are the creative future. And that being said, I love you guys lots, and we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.